Hello, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, my name's David. I will be co-hosting with host Make It with Mia in today's video, which is Make It Modern. It's a challenge that she put together, and I am just so excited and grateful that Mia asked me to co-host with her in today's video. This was an open challenge, so there will be a playlist link down below with everybody that participated. Everyone's video will be in that playlist, so make sure you check that out in the description box when you're done watching my video. Go ahead and leave Mia some love, subscribe to her channel, tell her I sent you. So let's get into the video. It's modern anything. So we're talking like boho modern, modern farmhouse. We're talking just regular modern, like traditional modern. And I'm exploring this amazing one called Urban Modern, which I'm showing you pictures right here. This is more like in the city, like city lifestyle type of look. I'm loving the decor style they have. They have these really nice clean lines, and they add in a little bit of like a boho flair, but it's mixed with industrial, and I absolutely love that. I think it's so pretty. I think anyone really can pull this look off. Like, you don't need to live in a New York loft in order to have this style. Like, anyone can bring this into their home. I really loved a lot of the unique pieces within these pictures. So I wanted to recreate some of these. I actually found these pictures online, and I really enjoyed how they complemented each other, but they were very monochromatic and neutral, and I think they'd go with really in any design space, especially my own. So my first DIY is going to be some wall art. I picked these up from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be creating some artwork for you guys that I think would go in an urban modern interior design. So I'm just going to open these up. I'm going to be using both canvases. I got smaller ones just to do the project and show you guys that you can make your own. But you can do this on a larger scale, whatever you're comfortable with. And no worries, I have these in my craft stash. Okay, so I want to have my pieces kind of like side by side, like when you style them. And typically in this interior design, they hang their pieces. They don't really like to lean them, but I'm probably going to lean mine because I don't really want to go through the trouble of hanging them up just to show you guys. Just keep that in mind. I have this spackling from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to put it all over the canvases and see if we can add a little bit of texture and dimension. I'm trying to push it into the canvas so it sticks. Alright, so while those are drying, I wanted to show you this cute little vase. I really like the shape of the vase. I thought it was very nice. The silhouette would look really great, and that's going to be it for this vase. So I just wanted to show you could pick up really any vase from your local thrift store. That's pretty cheap, $1, $1.50, $2, whatever. As long as it has like a really nice shape to the piece, this could be considered like an urban modern piece. So just keep that in mind. Something that you wouldn't like, if you're going for this type of design, this urban modern, just make sure it's very smooth glass. So like if there's some texture in the glass, like ripples design, like that would not really be considered this decor style. And I think painting it just a solid matte black is gonna make it look a little bit more like designer. A little bit more thought was put into the vase. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the shape of it. Though I'm gonna leave this one clear. You could go over it with ultra matte black or the flat black primer, whichever you prefer from Rust-Oleum. You could totally leave it like this. Style it with some white flowers or something. I think would look very high-end, very urban modern. It's very simple, and the shape is really nice. Here's an example of something that would not be, this is not the decor style because of the ripples in the glass. So these like lines is what makes it not this style, if that makes sense. If these lines were not here and this had like just a good shape, then yes, that would be considered, you know, urban modern. So now I'm just kind of going over getting all the little flakes of the spackle off and let this further dry. I think that's gonna help. But I love the texture that is there. I think it's so nice. It's really gonna add to the art piece. Okay, so this should be pretty dry by now. So now I'm just gonna go over the pieces with black, and I'm just gonna literally squirt it onto the canvas and just play around with the paint. By going back and forth, just randomly. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the sides as well, just because I want this to look like a piece that doesn't need a frame. So now I'm just taking a kind of neutral cream tan color and I'm just blending that in with the black. In areas, it's gonna make like more of a gray tone. Other areas, you'll just see plain tan color. I'm just doing this all super randomly. So then I thought dry brushing on white would kind of help the texture pop through. However, it didn't do the job I was thinking it was going to do. So I ended up just like lightly going over any areas that I wanted to highlight that texture. And then I had to blend out the rest of the white because then it had these weird strokes all over it. So you'll see what I mean here in a second. So I thought it was too dark, so I added in some more white paint. Just kind of brushed it over the black a little bit and blended anywhere else I thought it needed blended so that it would go more from black to gray to white. And as I was going, I noticed the cream color just was gone at this point. So I went back through and added a little bit of this in, a little bit over the white, mix it in with the black, just so it would pop through. I didn't do too much, so I had to blend out the rest of it. I like how it looks all together. There's just this weird line on this canvas right here that I need to figure out how to blend out. It's too much. It's just too much to keep going. So this piece here, I did this a while back on my channel. I'm gonna go ahead and update it and make this look more urban modern. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is squirt in some gray paint, and this is in matte finish. And then I'm gonna add in some baking soda to the mixture. And then I can just take any old brush, whatever I'm comfortable with using, and mix this around. Once I have it mixed around, I'm gonna go ahead and just go over all of this terracotta. I wanna make sure I get the bottom a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of paint over what's there. I'm not gonna go too heavy-handed with the baking soda on the bottom. So I'm just trying to make this look more like cement or concrete, and I'm actually going to be gifting this away to one of my friends. So in like an urban modern little pot, I would say would not have too much texture going on, not a lot, pretty muted, if no texture at all really. I'm actually going to go back over this and dry brush it with white. Mainly want to just cover up the orangey color of the terracotta. If you want this to look more like a cement pot, drawing lines with your brush, like in random directions, especially like this way and this way, is gonna help it look more like cement, like it was cement casted or whatever. Typically, modern decor, they probably like would not really go for something like this because of all the texture and like, but it's very muted, it's natural, it's like a cement or whatever. So I think this works for what I'm going for, which is urban modern, just kind of like more the city life, home design. So you have to think of it like that. Almost like industrial, be kind of like urban modern. Now that that's ready, I'm just taking this cream tone. It's a matte cream. I got it from Joann's, and then I'm gonna dry brush it all over this. So I'm gonna go back and forth over this and almost like whitewash this. I'm doing a heavy load on this. Typically you wouldn't, just because you don't want to show all that texture. I think my friend's really gonna enjoy this piece a lot more, seeing all the texture popping through. So I'm like keeping that in mind as well, because I'm making this for her. I definitely went too heavy-handed right here. Trying to blend it out, and it's not looking very good. I love the way this gray dried. It's a really, really pretty tone. And again, I'm going super heavy-handed with the dry brushing because I want this almost to appear as if it's white. But typically you would just get your brush light and just lightly go over a piece like this so that you can see the texture popping through like over in here, because you really want to see contrast with the white and dark. But again, I want this more to look white. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I'm gonna do this real quick, just go over it. I love this. I think it looks really, really good. I don't really know how far down I'm going, so I just did like an inch or so. I am gonna be putting a floral piece in here. I actually got from the thrift store. When I bought this vase, it came with it. So I bought this like vase from the thrift store, and it came with this floral piece inside of it. Instead of just getting rid of the floral piece, I really liked it because the leaves are really bendable, and overall it just seems like a really nice piece. So I think she's gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it inside of here. I think it's gonna look nice and neutral, and the pink is gonna go really well with her, with what she likes. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a chunk of floral foam. I'll take my floral piece, I'm gonna just push it. To surround it, I'm gonna use some moss. So here is a glass piece with no ripples. As you can see, it's just the silhouette. And if you see some piece that has like a line in it, that's when you can go in and spray paint it to make it look good. Because this is a really good piece and I don't see any lines in it, so I don't know if I want to spray paint it. I think it looks good on its own. I just cleaned it up. Maybe I'll go ahead and clean this one up and paint this one instead so you can see what I mean, but disguise these lines in the glass. Make it look a bit more high-end and expensive. Like, we don't want to see that. Okay, so this piece has a pretty good shape, but I wanted to add like some filler in around this edge right here, just to fill this in so it looks more like, might have to go through and texturize the whole piece. So I'm just using some silicone. That's gonna sit and dry now. Okay, so this is that same vase you can see in there where I put the white silicone. So that has dried, and then I just went over it with air dry clay to really shape the vase out how I want it to look, because I didn't want that weird little like indentation that it had. It had like a dip. So I smoothed it out so that it just blended in a bit more smoothly with the shape. Then I went ahead and just added 4 handles and made this cute little thing in the middle so that it looks a little bit more antique or something. So this is just gonna look like this cute rustic vase. I think would go in any type of home design. I think it would go in an urban modern feel, because these type of vessels are like really trendy at the moment. So having like 4 handle and the roundness of it, I think it's gonna look super cute. Cute little vase, something to put in the center of a table or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a bag over this and let this slowly air dry, and then I will come back to it. I'll probably have to glue on the handles because once they harden, they do shrink. If that happens, because they fall off, I will go in with some wood glue, and I like this one from Dollar Tree, but you can use any wood glue to glue them to the glass and it will hold really, really well. I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm not sure if I told you that in my previous videos where I made little clay handles, they actually, when they dry, they fall off and hit the table. To prevent them from breaking and cracking, I'm gonna put a bag around this jar and then a bag over the top, so it dries very slowly. And then it is the next day and my piece is all dried. As you notice, my piece, it did crack like I thought it would. So I just took some wood glue, the one from Dollar Tree, and I just squirted it all over the cracks and rubbed it in. I went up in this area too, so I know that this piece is gonna hold really well to the glass. As you can see, nothing's happening. And I did the same with these handles. They did fall off. So now I'm gonna go through and just blend all this together with some texturizing paint. Such a pretty neutral brown. Oh my god.
Way too much.
These pieces where there's cracks, I would basically just fill those in with this type of paint. A little bit of cracks showing through is gonna really add some cool texture. So we're probably gonna go over the cracked areas first. So now I'm gonna go in with a different color. I mixed a gray with a beige tone to get this grayish color, like a warmer gray is what I was going for. And I'm just stippling this on. I end up switching over to my makeup brush to do the texture that I've been loving lately. I feel with the makeup brush it works a lot better with adding texture because the brush is so dense. It adds in the texture differently, I guess, when you're pouncing on the paint, because the way the brush is made, it's holding paint in different areas on the paintbrush. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I think it works so much better than like a normal regular paintbrush. So definitely try it out because I've been loving this, doing it on all my little vessels lately. And I'm sorry if you didn't want to see another vessel, but this one turned out so cute. Beautiful. I'm also going to go in these little handles with a dark brown and just kind of line just the inside part of the handle. Kind of like this one right here. Once I put that brown in there, I went over it with the makeup brush to blend it out. So just keep going over and over. That'll soften up that paint. And it just blends everything in. I think it looks a lot more natural. Once the areas are dry, I want to go back over this a little bit in some areas with just a lighter tone, like a cream. And here are the final results. I really hope you guys enjoyed my projects. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite. And if you think I nailed this, do you think this would be urban modern? Yes or no? And please don't forget to check out the playlist I linked down below in the description box so you can check out everyone's projects and see what they made and what type of modern design style they went with. I'm super excited to hear back from you guys in the comments down below. In case you aren't already, subscribe to my channel, leave this video a like, and share it with your friends. Thanks guys. Bye!